Hey guys, Carbon 107 checking in here with another edition of What's on My Mind, my weekly vlog. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about a little bit more on my YouTube channel, a recent re-obsession of mine, kind of what I'm looking forward to in the future, both in gaming and otherwise. And there's one other thing I also want to talk to you guys about at the end, so stay with me and here we go.
Tell me like a Hellcat.
Alright guys, so let's delve in deep here. What I really wanted to talk to you guys about, just in terms of my YouTube channel, I just got my Overwatch review out, and honestly, not tooting my own horn or anything, but I was really proud of that video. I started it at midnight and I pushed that thing out and got it done, recorded the gameplay, recorded the audio, fixed the audio, edited all the video work, got it all uploaded, and had it up by that next morning. For those that know me, I am a night owl. Most of my work shifts that I actually do have are third and second shift, so I'm usually up all night. Most of my videos are being published at 3 or 4 in the morning at times, and sometimes a little bit earlier than that, sometimes later. I mean, that's just who I am, so a lot of my streams I'll be doing too will be after dark streams and stuff too. On the times that I can't really get a good stream in because I'll be working during the day and sleeping in the morning. So with that said, on the Overwatch video, the only criticism I heard on the feedback, had a lot of good feedback, and I really appreciate everybody who gave me good feedback on that video. I mean, I was ecstatic by how good of the feedback that I got. I didn't expect it, because honestly, I'm my biggest critic. I'll look at the video and go, oh, why did I do that? That was really shitty. I should not have done that. Or, oh my god, I said some stupid sling of words and then I repeated myself right after. Why did I not edit that out? In that, I pick apart my own videos constantly, and even though I'm proud of that video, because I mean, I put a lot of hard work into that video and I was really happy to see the finished product, I'm still critical about it. I'm still looking at that video going, God, I could have done better. I could have spent a little more time. I could have talked about this, and maybe I rambled on a little bit about this. But I mean, overall, after it was said and done, I went ahead and uploaded it. I didn't want to look at it anymore because I knew if I did, I'd just keep picking it apart, and I was happy about it. But the criticism that I did get was one of my friends, I'm not going to name any names, said that the length might have been a little too long. Not for him, but for other YouTubers that are viewers of YouTube who want the quick video fix. And honestly, I can understand that, because if I'm surfing Reddit or something, I don't want to spend 20 minutes watching a video. I get that, because I'm trying to just look through content and I'm surfing around just finding interesting topics. Hell, I'll spend an hour in the comments, but I only give a video sometimes, 3 to 5 minutes. I get that. But when it comes to what I want to put out on YouTube, I don't want quick videos. I don't mind putting out a quick 5-minute video if that's all I have to talk about and that's all I have to say. But if I have something to say, it's going to be as long as it's going to be. I mean, my last vlog was 16 minutes, and I'm fine with that. I'm sure half the people that have watched my other videos will not even look at that vlog because of the length. And that's fine. I don't care. I mean, I would love the views, but if you guys don't want to watch that video, I'm not going to pressure you to watch it. Just if you want to, go ahead. But I'm not going to say you guys need to watch this vlog. It's just I'm putting it out there because I want to kind of let you guys know what's on my mind. But at the same time, I also want to give you guys a sense of how I do things and how I think about things and why I do what I do in videos. The length of videos to me is nil. I mean, if someone doesn't want to spend over 5 minutes watching a video, they can move on. They can go to somebody else, and that's fine. I've already jumped up 5 subscribers. I don't know for sure if they were all people I know. I know maybe 2 to 3 of them for sure were, but those other 2, I don't know who they were. And those could be my first 2 random subscribers. And if they are, I'm ecstatic about that. I mean, I'm really freaking out. I jumped up 5 subscribers this month it's alone. I mean, I was expecting to sit at 20 for months, so I'm really excited. And I had a friend of mine tell me he's going to be sharing my videos with his friends who he thinks will enjoy my content too, and I think that's fantastic. I told him he didn't have to, but man, I just really appreciate all the people out there that are sharing my videos, that are retweeting my stuff. I mean, you guys are honestly my lifeblood. You guys care enough about me to do that. The other criticism that I got, maybe my videos sound just a little too scripted. And yeah, I do write a script whenever I want to cover a topic, like I did with the Overwatch controversy, I did with the PlayStation versus Xbox subscription games, and I did with the review, because if I don't, I'll ramble. And I mean, you guys, anybody who watched this blog will watch this blog and watched my last blog will know that I ramble and I get off topic sometimes. I do that in conversations. I mean, you can ask my friends on PlayStation Network. I do that a lot. I'll be talking about something, trying to explain something, and next thing I know, I'm off completely left field from where I was, because my brain runs 100 miles an hour on that kind of stuff. I mean, regardless, I want to make sure to stick to a script, so I do hope that those people who do think that my stuff sounds maybe just a tad too scripted, which I agree, going back and rewatching that video and I listened to the audio, it does sound a tad scripted, but at the same time, I felt it sounded less scripted than my Overwatch controversy, and I thought it sounded way less scripted than the PlayStation versus Xbox, simply because that one I followed the script almost 100% to, versus I did get off a little bit on both of the Overwatch videos, because I wanted to inject a little bit of just random flair into it too, because I mean, if I'm going to put my personality in these videos, you guys want to hear it, then that's what I want to do. I mean, I want me in those videos, not just a script. I hope those two things can be addressed, and I think the videos are getting better, every one I do. I mean, I can even see that. Editing's getting better, audio's getting better. It's just going to take time. And I think, if you look at the first podcast versus the most recent one, which will be uploaded if this vlog goes up tomorrow or I guess Wednesday is when I'm planning on putting this vlog up. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday. The podcast should follow if it doesn't go up first. So you guys will hear. You'll see the difference between the first podcast and the last one. You get comfortable, you get kind of in a rhythm, you know what you're doing, so maybe even these vlogs will be even condensed down a little bit once I kind of get my thoughts into control. But that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about on my YouTube channel, my recent videos, and my future videos. I hope that in the future I can provide a little less scriptedness in my explanations or commentary, and I also hope that my length of my video doesn't become so bad. I mean, I said that's probably the one I don't care about it the most, because if you don't want to watch my videos, you're not going to watch my videos if they're 5 minutes or if they're 10 minutes. Regardless, my re-obsession. Okay, so a few of my really close friends and family know that I love horror films, I love horror video games, I love horror novels. I'm obsessed with the horror genre. It's amazing. I've been reinvigorated by it by a recent viewing of the Marble Hornets and Everyman Hybrid explanations by Nick Nocturne at Nightmind. He's a great YouTuber, and I'm watching all his content. I mean, I'm probably giving this guy hours upon hours of ad revenue, because I've watched every one of his videos so far on those two explanations from the first minute to the last without, I went through it, the whole thing, and I love it. And they're hours. They're like an hour and a half on each video, and there's like 5 to 6 videos in the series, if not more. And I'm planning on going on to the next one. There's one more I really want to watch before I start getting into his single series videos. It's really reinvigorated my horror genre, really wanting to get back into that. So the thing I'm really excited about, that I'm going to kind of segue also into what I'm looking forward to in the next few months, horror games. I feel we don't have a lot of good ones out that have not come out recently. Until Dawn was the last one I played, and I fucking loved it. That game was fantastic. And the story, the horror, and the dread feeling you had, and the mystery, it did really well, because that story, or that game, had like 2 stories intertwined with each other, and they did it, I think, almost flawlessly. And I'm really looking forward to, if not a sequel, something else from that developer and that writer who did that. So I'm really excited about that. The other thing about it is that when I originally started streaming, probably 2 years ago, one of the games that I streamed, one of the first few, was Outlast. It scared the shit out of me at first. I'm not going to lie. I was playing alone with headphones on in the dark, facing my TV. I had my chair pulled up to my TV, so I'm really close to my TV, and I was screaming like a little girl, and a lot of people liked that. So I really want to get some more horror games. I really wish we would had PT turn into Silent Hills and had that come out in the near future, but that one got canceled, which was the one I was looking forward to the most. But it seems that Outlast 2 is coming out, and there's a few other ones. I think Allison Road, I think, is what it was called. It might be something different. It's Allison something, which is kind of like a true successor to PT since it got canceled, and it looks really good. So I'm going to be streaming those whenever they do eventually come out. I'm really wanting to get back into that, and like horror movies, I really want some good ones. There's not been a lot of good horror movies lately, and I think that kind of sucks. Even campy horror movies are good for me, but I mean, in all honesty, I want to see some really good, scary. I want to feel dread. I want to feel that fear and anxiety and that beating heart, like, oh God, what's going to come out of that room? Oh, what's behind her? You know, it doesn't have to be ghosts. It doesn't have to be monsters. I mean, it can just be something that makes me feel dreadful. And honestly, we have not had that recently. You know, the last few good horror movies that I saw, I didn't get to see in theaters. The Babadook and It Follows, and I think both of those were fantastic. And I really want to see those captured in a video game so I can experience it more than just be a bystander watching it. I want to be in it. I want to feel that. I'm really hoping that in the future, what I'm looking forward to is these horror games. So I'm going to start looking around and seeing what they got. And maybe my next vlog, I'll see what I find out and let you guys know. Another thing I really wanted to quickly interject here too is about the podcast. We got 2 good ideas for the next podcast coming up, me and Channing, Dr. Gnome from Gnome Gaming. And I think you guys will be really delighted. You know, we moved away from Destiny. We spent 3 weeks on that. We talked about microtransactions. We've talked about the PlayStation Neo. And then I think we also talked about the Battlefield 1 versus Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So the next one that we're going to do is a little bit different. But it will be on the same vein as that. But we have an idea for the next one after that. So in 2 weeks, we have a really special podcast. It's been something that we have not done before. And I really hope that the guys and girls who listen to the podcast, maybe you'll be really excited because it's something we have not done before and something that Channing actually brought to my attention. He goes, hey, I had a really good idea for this and I thought about it and it was fantastic. And I really think that you guys will enjoy it. And I really hope it maybe will become something we can do like maybe once a month or something like that if it really goes well. Or think of ideas like that. We have another idea for one that was given to me by someone close to me who wanted to see us do something, and we like the idea, but right now it's just not feasible to be able to do, but we will be doing it. And if it doesn't turn into a podcast, it will be turned into a live stream type thing. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but we have really good ideas on this podcast, and we are going at this at, full steam. We also have a couple people that are wanting to guest host on the podcast with us, and we've been in talks with them. There's one that's also actually a good friend of ours from PSN. If he's listening to this, he probably knows who he is. He came to us and said he really wanted to participate in the podcast with us, so we've been in talks with him. Maybe after these next 2 podcasts are over, we can have some time to kind of sit down and come up with a good one so he can come on, so it's not just like him coming out of left field. We really want him to be a feature of the podcast rather than just somebody who joins us on a podcast, if that makes sense. And then maybe in the future, other people who decide to guest host with us, because I think we've actually decided, at least for the time being, unless something changes, unless we decide to do something different, we're just going to do this podcast as us two. And I think that the dynamic works really well. We really did like having Avisus on there, but being that he just decided to depart from the podcast, which is fine. I mean, it was his choice. After he decided to walk off, we talked about the podcast and what we were going to do on it. The first podcast we did, it was a little nerve-wracking because we didn't know if having only 2 people, we were going to be able to fill that time up and not have one person talking over the other one or having one person talk too much. And honestly, the dynamic worked really well. I think we're just going to keep it a duo, so I guess it's official for now. Me and Channing, Carbon 107, and Dr. Gnome are the Small Town Gamers, and I think that's awesome. And I really hope that you guys enjoy that and really want to come back and listen to that with us. Keep checking back in with us. These vlogs are kind of for me to just ramble on and get some thoughts out of my head and let you guys kind of know where I am in my YouTube and my other life, real life. That's cool and all, but what I would really like for you guys to do is if you have an idea of something you want me to talk about that really doesn't fit a video or maybe is too big for a video, something that it might not really fit in the video format of, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes long, message me, comment, tell me, hey, what's your thoughts on this, or do you have any opinions on this? And if it doesn't work in a video, I'll try to cover it in the vlog, something like that. And I'd like you guys to be able to ask questions to me, and I'll answer whether in the comments or in the video. And if maybe you guys actually start asking enough questions or whatnot, I can actually do a Q&A video directed specifically at the questions you guys asked. I'd love to be able to do something like that with you guys, because honestly, I do this channel for me, but I also do it for you viewers who actually do listen and care. There's one last thing I want to do before I check out. I've actually honestly have forgotten to shout out to him, and put him in my YouTube descriptions for the fact of how much help he's actually really been. And I apologize to him, and I actually need to talk to him outside of this soon, because I just realized I hadn't been. And I mean, you get caught up in a lot of stuff whenever you're making videos and that kind of stuff, but honestly, my best friend, Static Blue, you know, he's been there every step of the way since the incarnation of this channel. For those of you that know my logo, the Skull King, I hand drew it. He decided to create it into a digital artwork. You know, he retraced it onto the computer, colored it, made it look fantastic. So it was a collaboration between me and him. I just haven't really gave him enough props. I mean, he's astounding at me just throwing him random stuff, going, hey, can you do this last minute, or just, hey, real quick, can you do this? So Static Blue, I really owe you a lot in this YouTube channel, and all the stuff that you've done for me. You know, the Small Town Gamers podcast logo he threw it together in like 10 minutes, not even. It looks amazing, and I use it on every podcast, and I love it. I owe him a lot. I'm sorry that I have not shouted out to you enough, and I've not credited you enough when I need to. So in the future, and I will go back on those videos now and put them in there when I get a chance to, after this is uploaded, hopefully maybe before. To him, to all my followers, to all my subscribers, to the people who care, to my friends and family, I love you guys. I owe you everything. And I really hope that I can continue to provide any kind of content that you guys want to see. Thank you again for listening. I will check back in with you guys next week. I have decided to do this weekly for sure. So this is Carbon 107 with my second vlog series. Check it out.